The month is winding down, and that means it's time for the Maybe series. Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alex, and today is the Maybe series. I really can't believe where the year has gone, y'all. Like, May, June, like, it's summer. It feels like summer. I know it's not like officially summer or whatever, but it really does feel like summer is like happening. We're kind of like wrapping up the school year, getting ready for everything that comes next. I don't know where the spring went, honestly. It's just been a lot. So, yeah, I know this is getting to you guys late. I know, I'm so sorry. Um, there's no excuse. There really isn't. Life's just been a lot for me. I've just been so busy. And then when I think about I need to film, it's never a good time. There's never a good time, okay? But I'm here now. We're going to do the Maybe series. So before we get into it, make sure all the buttons down below so you know what I'm posting. I post every week-ish. And all we do on this channel is talk about books. So if you like listening to people talk about books, here I am every week-ish doing just that for you. So before we get started, I do have an announcement. First of all, I'm sick. Again, I don't know. Guys, I was sick all through the fall. All through the fall, I was sick. Like, my doctor, I didn't go to the doctor until, like, I was better, which I know is not, like, what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to go to the doctor when you're actually sick. But I was at a doctor's appointment after I had gotten better, and I had mentioned that I had been really sick and what my symptoms were, and they're like, you probably either had RSV or walking pneumonia. Like, you guys, I was sick for like 4 or 5 weeks. And I was just like, it's gonna be fine, I'll get better. So yeah, I was sick like almost all fall. If you go back and watch my videos, or if you watch my videos in the fall, you know I sounded like exactly like this, like, for weeks. I don't know, I'm hoping this is just cold and it'll go away, and or it's allergies or something. It's just like, it's super annoying. So yeah, I'm sorry my voice sounds like this. Announcement, the big announcement, really. You guys know I've been saying, like, pretty much all year since January that this year's going to be really weird for me, really different. A lot of big things are happening this year for me, and that's going to affect my availability to film, my content or whatever. Well, okay, here we go. Here's the big surprise. There we go. That is a baby. So, yeah, I'm literally having a baby, like, next month. And that is one of the reasons why the content has been on and off, just because I've been trying to get a lot of things ready for this, and then also just like not feeling well. Like I said, I've been really sick. I've been anemic. I've been everything, okay? It's just been a lot. This has been a lot for me. No, this is not my first one, but this is the last one. We're celebrating that a little bit. Yeah, so the baby is coming next month. I don't know what the rest of the summer is going to look like for me. Again, I'm being 100% honest with you guys. I don't know what the rest of the summer is going to look like for me. Because if something has to take a step back, it's going to have to be this and reading. That's just where I am. If something has to be shelved for a little bit, it has to be this. So I am going to promise you, and this is a promise I'm going to keep, I will always do the Maybe series and the wrap up. Even if I only read one book that month, I will do the wrap up and I will do the Maybe series. As for the rest of my content, I don't know how frequent it will be, okay? I'll try my best. I really am going to try my best because I love being here. I love sharing, reading, and I love talking to everybody about books. I love it. So this will be, if I have to step back, it will be very temporary, and I'm going to make an effort to come back again. And I want to let you know, I follow a lot of content creators that, like, once they get pregnant or once they have a baby, their content shifts to, you know, child content, baby content, family life content. That will not be the case with me. No hate to any creator that does that. This is your channel. You can do it with whatever you want with your channel. That won't happen here. Some of you guys know I do have other children. And if you do know that, it's because I mentioned them very sparingly in passing, like, oh, I have to do this with my kids or something like that. So no, the content of the channel will not be shifting. It's just the frequency of me posting that will be affected for a little while. So yeah, that's the big announcement. And like I said, we're just gonna play everything by ear, okay? The maybe series and the wrap up will always happen. But other than that, I don't know how much I will be on. I am going to try and prioritize rest this time because I've literally never done that with my others. So I'm going to try and prioritize rest this time. And if something has to take a back seat, it's going to be reading. But since we have so many options with audiobooks and stuff now, I am hoping to be able to just put on an audiobook every now and then and relax. So that was officially the longest intro ever. Let's get into what I might read in May. Okay, so I wouldn't say that I've been in a bit of a reading slump because I haven't. Like, I read a decent amount this month, just like always, but I'm just so bored. I don't know. Does that make sense? Like, my regular, like, I usually read thrillers, and I did read some good books this month in April, but it was like, I don't know. When I sat down to make the maybes list, I was like, everything sounds so boring. The thrillers don't sound thrilling. I don't even know if I want to read a thriller. I don't know. So this list, I have no idea. I don't know how I'm going to pick because I made the list and now I'm looking back on it and I'm like, I don't even know if I want to read these. So I don't know. We're going to see what happens for May. And yeah, I guess. The first book on the list is Everyone Who Can Forgive Me Is Dead by Jenny Hollander. I swear I put this on a previous maybes list. But like, when I went back to look, I can't find it anywhere. So like maybe I thought about it and then I just didn't go through with it. Anyway, this book is supposed to be about a young woman that survives some sort of tragedy in college, and then years later they want to like make a film about it, like a documentary film about what happened. And basically she's terrified that the secrets that surround what happened that day are going to come back and like haunt her or something. Like secrets are going to come out that weren't meant to be out. This sounds like a school shooting book, okay? And if you've been on my channel a minute, you know that's like this sort of weird niche thing that I read about every now and then. It's up there with cults, okay? I read a lot about cults. I also read a lot about school shootings. But yeah, it didn't specifically say school shooting in the premise of it, so I don't know. This one sounds interesting. Like I said, I couldn't find if I put it on a maybes list, but it's been popping up for me a lot. So yeah, here it is. Okay, so the next, I didn't even write down a title. I just wrote down Jason Rekulak. Okay, I've been trying to get a Jason Rekulak book forever. He's been on multiple maybes lists. The first one is the Hidden Pictures book, and then the other one is like the last one at the wedding or something like that. Anyway, everyone has been buzzing about Jason Rekulak, and I kept saying I really want to get his book, or one of his books anyway. I have tried multiple times this year to get a Jason Rekulak book, and it's just never available the month I want to read it. So I think I'm going to pick one of the books and just put it on hold, and whenever it comes available, I'm going to have it. Okay? So does that mean that we're going to read it in May? Unlikely, because like I said, every time I've tried to access a Rekulak book, it's like a 12-week wait or something like that. So I'm going to get on a wait list for it. We'll see what happens. Maybe it'll come up in August. Maybe I'll get it in June. I don't know. We're just going to see. I'm going to pick one of the books and I'm going to go on a hold for it because, yeah, I want to read Rekulak this year. The next book on the list is The Haven by Fiona Neill. This has definitely been on a maybes list before. This book popped up for me again. And I was like, you know what? I didn't look enough into this book the last time it was on the maybes series. This one does sound like a cult book. Okay? Like, the description is very vague, but it's basically like this family that lives in utopia, a utopian community, and then suddenly realizes it's not as cracked up as it's supposed to be. Something like that. And basically they're trying to get out of this community and they're having trouble. I don't know. The premise was pretty vague. Like I said, it does sound like a cult book. Okay? And the cover's giving me, I don't know, the perfect vibes. It looks like what the book The Beach was about, okay? Which that was kind of a cult book, and I read that so long ago. But I still think about that book. I think about that book all the time. Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna see if I can get this one. Like I said, it's been on a maybe series before, but I wasn't able to get it then, so we'll see. The next book on the list is The Dirty Book Club by Lisi Harrison. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what this book is really about. It's been on a list for me forever. And you know how at the beginning of this post, I was like, I didn't really know what to read. Because this is not a thriller, obviously. Well, not obviously, but like I think it's supposed to be more like contemporary fiction, which y'all know is not like my preferred jam. But like maybe I just need to step out of my box a little bit, okay, to like appreciate everything else that I typically read. Maybe I just need a palate cleanser, right? So like I said, I don't really know what this is about. People were kind of talking in the review section like this is a mix between Yaya Sisterhood and Now and Then, the film. So yeah, apparently it's like a group of women that made a pact with each other, and then like 40 years later, now they're like saying like, remember that pact we made? Well, we're gonna follow through. And I'm guessing it's about being in a book club. So I don't know. This wildly sounds outside of what I normally read, but I really liked Yaya Sisterhood. I grew up on that film, and my mother read the book to me when I was probably too young to be reading it. And Now and Then was like my childhood movie. Like I grew up watching that as well, and I love that film. I still love that film. So yeah, if this book is anything like a mix between the two of those, then I probably will like it. It's just not what I typically read. The next book on the list is Incidents Around the House by Josh Malerman. Okay, I haven't read Josh Malerman in a minute. Josh Malerman wrote Bird Box and Mallory, which is the sequel to Bird Box. I loved Bird Box. I know everybody like kind of makes fun of that film, and I don't think a lot of people read the book because the book was actually really good. The film was actually really good too. I don't know why people were hating on it. If you read the book, the film and the book are so close together, it's crazy. But I think that the book, I did a whole breakdown on this. You guys should go watch it instead of listening to me talk about it here. I think the book did such a great job on the character work for Mallory. It really did. Anyway, Josh Malerman has been on the reread list for me because I liked both Bird Box and Mallory. So yeah, this book has been popping up for me a lot. Everyone says it's really good. This is a horror story about a young girl that keeps saying that there is something visiting her at night in her closet, and she refers to this entity as Other Mommy. And she explains to her actual mother that Other Mommy is inviting her to come into her heart, whatever that means. And this sort of spurs haunted house spirit activities or whatever. It's been a while since I've read a good haunted house book. I really like how Josh Malerman writes. So yeah, if I'm in a horror mood this month, I definitely see me picking this up. Okay, this is the last one, and I have made a decision. This is The Thinking Woman's Guide to Real Magic by Emily Croy Barker. If you go back to my series post, I talk exclusively about this book for a while. Okay, I read this book a long time ago when it first came out. Emily Croy Barker made a sequel to this book years later, like almost 10 years after she wrote the first one. And now I would like to read the second book in the series, but it's been so long since I read the first one that I have to reread this book in order to read the second one. So I've made a decision. I am going to reread this book. Is it going to be in May? We'll have to see, okay? And I decided I'm going to do it on audio because I did it in physical last time. And so I'd like to see how the audio reads. You know, that would be kind of nice, right? To be able to have an opinion about both of those. Y'all, the audio for this is 26 hours. What do you mean? That's so long. But I do remember, I talked about this in the series, like that this book was thick. I remember reading it and it being thick. On the one hand, it's like 26 hours, man. And then on the other, it's like, yeah, it probably is that long. So yeah, I've made a decision. I'm going to read it this year. This is the goal for this year, is to read the Emily Cord Barker book. Is May going to be the month that I start it? I don't know. We're going to have to see how the rest of May blows out, okay? Like I said, I've got a lot happening in June. I can't put a lot of pressure on May because there's already a lot of pressure happening, okay? I have so much stuff I have to get done. But yeah, I've made that decision, and we'll just see how that shakes out. Okay, that's everything. That's all I have for you guys today. The Maybe series is always kind of short. You guys know that. Yeah, so we'll see how everything kind of comes together for May and what I end up reading. Make sure you get all the buttons down below so you know what I'm posting. I post every week-ish. And yeah, I'm happy to have shared the news with you guys. And yeah, so if I'm a little bit absent in the upcoming months, I'm not gone. I'm just breathing, okay? I'm just taking a rest and dealing with my life. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys have been reading, what you're excited about for summer. Do you guys have any plans for summer? Like, obviously, I don't have any plans. I'm going to be at home. Usually, I'm so excited to share, like, what I'm doing for the summer because typically we do something. Like, last year we went on a road trip, and, like, we tend to go camping a lot in the summer and, like, see family and stuff. And, like, I'm not really doing anything this summer. I'm pretty much just chilling at the house. But yeah, if you guys are going to do anything exciting, let me know. Let me live vicariously through you guys in your little adventures, okay? So yeah, that's all I have for you all today, and I will see you all next time. Bye.